Hi, everyone. I'm Débora Simões Almeida Colombari. I'm professor of physiology in the School of Dentistry, São Paulo State University in Brazil. And I'm also chair of the membership committee of the International Society of Hypertension. And today I'm going to talk about some tips to write a conference abstract. So tip number one is to have a good title. So we have to remember that the title is the first thing readers look. Also, we have to compose a clear and objective title, so it has to be very straightforward. Keep it as short as possible and include some keywords. And the keywords is important to include in the abstract because when you are searching for abstract to see in a conference, we usually in their website, we put the keywords. And if the keywords is already in the title, keep it easy for people looking and reaching for your study. Also, if the main find you currently have does not render the purpose of the study, you may consider state your main goal in the title. So this is a possibility. You can also put your title in the form of a question. I have done this sometimes. You can make it attractive, but avoid trying to be too clever, meaning that sometimes we try to put some kind of funny title with word with double meaning. And this can be misleading, and sometimes people, they cannot understand what you really want to do. So be a little bit aware with that. So after the title, we go for the introduction. It's of course very important to give some background, but we have to try to be brief and straight to the point. Do not write too much in the introduction. We have to provide essential information for the audience to understand what the general topics is and what was known so far. Save space in the introduction, because you can provide more details in the methods in the results sections, which are novel and particular to your study. That's what you really want to show. The aims of your abstract, it's very simple. Clearly and concisely specify the gap in knowledge that you aim to fill. Simple like that, very straightforward. In the methods, make sure that the methods section is detailed enough, however, not too technical, because you want to, as many people as you wish to understand, to read your abstract and understand what you're saying. And if it's too technical, then you limit the people that is reaching your data. And also include the study design, setting number of subjects, if animal study or human studies, and also eligibility criteria. This has to be in the methods section. You should also include a description of the important variables of the study, such as cardiovascular measurements, intervention, like some kind of denervation, drug intervention. Also include some predictors, outcomes, as well as how the data is expressed. For instance, I put here like mean and standard error of mean or standard deviation. This is a way you can express data, and how the data was statistically analyzed. Then we go for the results section. Communicate your main results and briefly mention the techniques used if you have not done this in the method section. If your results are rather thin at the moment, which is really common in abstract because it's part of a bigger project, you can describe the approach you plan to use to address the pending questions. Also, report the number of subjects used if you have not done this before in the method section. And most importantly, always report the results that actually answer your research question, and never just a p-value. When you analyze abstract, you want to see the data, not a p-value. So put your data there, report result there in the result section. Then we go for conclusion and perspectives. You may not be able to draw definitive conclusions with the data you have collected so far. Again, because it's an abstract, it's not an article. But you can briefly discuss which possible conclusions you can emphasize with the data you already have. You can do that. You can also mention future directions in the area of the study, but avoid overusing the term more studies are needed. We read this a lot in the abstract, so avoid using that. You should finish by explaining why the final results will be important to the field. However, be very careful to not speculate too much. Sometimes we read in abstract with some tiny data that authors speculate way too much. So stick with your data, with your result. And last but not least, perform a careful spell and language check, especially if you're not writing your native language. Check the accuracy of author names and affiliations. This is extremely important. Always check the submission guidelines of the conference you attend. Depending on the conference, the guidelines are different. And also, which I always do, is get feedback from the co-authors and from my colleagues. If you're a trainee, get feedback from your mentor. This can improve your abstract. And here I put some reference that I found it very good to advise and how to write an abstract. That said, I wish you very good abstract writing for the next conference. Thank you.